In this video, you'll learn how to submit a travel request using the MyASU travel website. On the MyASU Trip homepage, click Start a Request on the quick taskbar. The Request Header tab opens with a list of fields in red, which represents the required information you must complete. First, create the name of your trip in the trip field name. Next, select the appropriate option from the drop-down menu in the trip type field. The trip type field should be completed based on the information in your MyASU trip profile. If not, select the appropriate option from the drop-down menu. Enter the appropriate start and end dates by using the calendar icon. Click the drop-down arrow in the destination field to select your trip location. Select the appropriate account for the trip expense in the account field. If you need to search for a specific account, enter the asterisk into the field. A drop-down list will appear where you can search by text or code. Include the appropriate information in the optional sub-org and function fields. Answer yes or no in Does this trip contain a personal travel field? Refer to details regarding the airfare quote for your business portion of your trip by hovering your cursor over the question mark. Select the appropriate option for the type of trip in the business type drop-down menu. The conference event host field is required, even if you are not attending a business conference, in which case enter in NA. Describe for the reason for your trip in the reason for trip field, which has a 48-character maximum. The comment field below, it has a 256-character maximum. If you are taking personal days for your trip, use this field to clarify which days of the overall trip are business-related and which are not. Click Save as long as all the information is correct. You'll be sent automatically to the Segments tab, otherwise you need to update or add information before you can proceed. Next, you will add segments to your request. First one we'll look at is for flights. Click on the flight icon. Select one of the following types of flights options: round trip, one-way, or multi-segment. Enter the amount you are requesting in the amount field and select the appropriate currency from the corresponding drop-down. In the from and to fields are the inbound sections. Enter the cities for your travel. MyASU Trip will automatically search for a match, but you must enter a city with the airport code for any other options to appear. Click the calendar icons in the outbound and returning sections. Select the appropriate dates to reflect when you will depart and return. Then click Save. Click the car rental icon in the Segments tab. Enter the amount you expect to pay in the amount field and select the appropriate currency type from the corresponding drop-down menu. Enter the city where you pick up the car in the city field of the pickup section. This city will auto-populate in the drop-off section. Explain why you need to rent a car in the reason field of the pickup section. All drivers must take a defensive driving training course before renting a car for a trip created via MyASU Trip. Check the traveler has completed defensive driving training checkbox if you completed the training. If not, make sure you take it before going on the trip. Click Save. Click on the lodging icon in the Segment tab. Enter the amount you expect to pay in the amount field and then select the appropriate currency type from the corresponding drop-down menu. In the city field of the check-in section, enter the name of the city where you are checking in. Complete the estimated nightly room rate field based on the current presumed cost. In the date fields of the check-in and check-out sections, enter the date of your arrival and departure via the calendar icon. If this hotel is part of a conference you are attending, click the Conference Hotel checkbox. If not, leave it blank. Click Save. You can add the projected expenses that are not part of the segment. Click on the Expense tab. The expense you created in the segment tabs are presented on the left side of the Expense tab. On the right side features expense types that you've selected. Create a new expense and then click the appropriate expense type on the right side of the page or enter it in the expense field. Each expense type has a number of required fields, some which may automatically populate. Complete the other fields as necessary. Click Save when done. You can allocate more than one account to pay for your trip. Click Expense in the Expense tab at the Request. At the bottom of the expense, click Allocate. The Allocations pop-up window will appear, where you can select the expense on the left side, and on the right side of the page, click Add New Allocation to create a new row as many times as you need to update the account field to reflect different accounts the expense is allocated to. The sub, org, and function fields are optional. When everything else in your request is set, you can submit it. Click the Approval Flow tab. Select your account approval by typing his or her last name into the field. A drop-down list will appear where you can select your approver. Type an asterisk into the field to pull up all your approvers associated with the account you selected in the request header base. Based on your profile, the ATO and the Dean VP fields will auto-populate. Click Submit Request. A confirmation pop-up page will appear to inform you that the request has been successfully submitted. Then you'll be sent to the Active Request page.